Hey, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're gonna do some sensor upgrades on my Evo, so come along. So I kind of been putting off one of these sensors and the other one is actually a problem. So first thing we're gonna talk about is this map sensor. I'm gonna put this in, it's a 4-bar. I already have a 4-bar, it's an Omni 4-bar. The Omni 4-bar works great for what it is. It doesn't read below, I think it's 14.5 inches of vacuum, so if I'm cruising and I let off the gas a little bit, if it goes into 18, it just goes pig rich because it's basically using idle fuel tables to do all that instead of actual decel tables. So this is gonna be our first one. It's not too bad of an upgrade or swap. We got a fitting that we gotta put in here, and then we gotta mount it to the firewall, repin it, and do that kind of stuff. The other one is an oil pressure sensor. And the reason we're gonna put that in is, I'll put a little clip in here right now. Yeah, so in that clip you can see that the oil pressure light is flickering on and off. I don't think it's actually a problem because those lights are triggered at I think 5 PSI. This has hydraulic lifters. It's not making any noise when that's happening. It's still running just fine. But in order to know for sure, we gotta put this in so we can actually log our oil pressure. So right now though, we're gonna do the map sensor because that's gonna be quick and easy. Should just have to rescale the ECU and more or less all the tunes should be the same. I'm gonna have to obviously tune the new tables, but that's not that big a deal. So let's get going on that. All right, so I think the plan of attack is gonna be to get the old map sensor out, put the new plug on, and then put the fitting in and everything and kind of measure the vacuum line. I don't have a drill here at the shop, it's at my house shop. So what we'll probably do is kind of make sure we have enough because I'm gonna wanna mount it right here. I'll just zip tie it for now. It'll be fine for a couple days till I can get my drill. Yeah, like I said, this sensor, it works fine and dandy, especially, because it plugs in OEM and everything, but it just isn't quite cutting it with the haltech. The car runs okay, just there's definitely parts in the fueling map that need to be desired a little bit. It's always nerve-wracking doing this. But, it's got to be done. I don't know if haltech recently changed this, but they actually gave me closed barrel connectors, which is pretty exciting. I like them over open barrels. Now we just gotta get the connector, put it on the correct way, and then do the hard, well, not really the hard stuff, the mechanical stuff, I guess you could say. The actual vacuum line. Yeah, the actual vacuum line. Jeez, if I could talk today. Right, put the lock in and it's wired, hopefully. Yeah, so I got this adapter. It's from STM, it only comes like this. It's just an 1/8 inch MPT, so you could mount a regular motorsport sensor on it. But I went to a barb because this is a vacuum line sensor. It's got new hardware and everything too, and they're Allens, which is, fine and dandy. But I'm just gonna put the OEM stuff back in because off chance it needs to be serviced, someone's more likely to have an 8mm socket than the Allen I need. So. Okay, now what we're gonna do, get the vacuum line on, get the sensor plugged in and kind of route it where we think it's gonna need so we can make sure we got the right length of hose. Like I said, I want to put it right here. Oop, phone, bear back. I think that might be a little on the long side. You can always trim it up when I actually get it mounted. So I think that's what I'm gonna leave it for now. And I'm just gonna zip tie it like right here. I wanna throw some zip ties around the barbed fittings too, so that way less likely to blow off with boost. Another way you can actually do that is to get some like crimp clamps. We used to do that on like the rally cars and stuff like that. It's a little bit more of a permanent solution and probably should be done for the most part, but if you're on a budget, zip ties seem to work pretty good. Done this for years with zip ties. We'll change the scaling and see how that all looks. All right. Oop. Read settings from device. Not right. That was the 886 is a map that was on there right now. We don't want to write that, that's for sure. Load from file. Map 4-bar 136 right here. I'm curious what my flex fuel is too. Sorry, 76%. All right, I didn't know what it was. So file, save as. Cool, cool. All right, let's fire it up and see how it runs. Cool. Yeah, so like none of these down here were used, whereas now they're going to be used. So like it'd be using these fuel cells like when I'm cruising, and that was not good. Yeah, so we'll have to do some obviously retuning on that type of stuff, but for the most part it'll run pretty much the same for everything else that's been done, and we'll just have to kind of play it by ear. Yeah, obviously we still have to do the oil pressure sensor. That's next. I'm probably gonna do that tomorrow at the shop at home, and we'll mount the actual map sensor then. So, all right, well, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, so I'm back. I just wanna try getting this done right away. I wanna work on the 8.6 on Wednesday, so wiring is gonna be a little bit of a problem because I don't know what I all got going on the ECU side, but at least if we get it installed and maybe run the wires, we'll figure that out later. So, got the light all set up. I don't know how well you'll be able to see down in there. Yeah, right? It's out of focus right now. Let's see. Let's see if I can put my finger on it. And this guy right down here. I want to get the sensor and the whip all like set up. That way it's ready. We can just get that installed and then, yeah, like I said, run the wires and hopefully get it all hooked up to the computer today. Yeah, I'm probably gonna just leave the camera off while I actually get the old one out, because I think that's gonna be a pain in the butt, and I just don't want to edit a lot of that out, I guess. So pick back up with you guys when I get it out. Yeah, so we got it out. I don't know how well you'll be able to see, but there's a lot of corrosion built up here. So I'm feeling pretty confident that this is actually our problem and not actually low oil pressure. But it wasn't too bad to get out. I just had to get creative with like some sockets and extensions and ratchets and everything. But I'll get you guys set up and we'll get the new one put in. So we got to put the block adapter, and then the line adapter, and then the actual pressure sensor. It might be a little bit of a pain in the butt to get the line on here once it's in there, but I think it's gonna be a pain in the butt either way. So let's get this put on first. So a lot of Japanese vehicles use British standard threads for stuff like this, and everything I read online was this was actually regular NPT. So here's hoping. Okay, I don't want to tighten that yet. I want to answer the phone. Pretty sure I know where I want to put the sensor now. I don't have AC in this car, and the spot where it goes is actually got a little M6 spot, so I bet I could probably put this right there and run the line to it. I'm gonna see if I can get that on there real quick and show you guys. So I can kind of just leave that on there as we go in. Okay, I might be able to tighten it by hand here now that it's started. Yeah, there we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the sensor back out, tighten it where I can get to it, and then run it back through here. You know, sometimes you gotta take 2 steps back when you're doing this stuff. Start it up and verify we ain't got no leaks. See if you'll be able to see it. You can see the, maybe a little bit. It's down there. Then it comes up and it mounts right there. So we're gonna get the wiring done here real quick. I'm probably just gonna run like, 6 feet has gotta be enough into the car, and we'll see if we can get it pinned up right away. All right, so I got a pigtail all made here. We'll have to plug this in, run it into the dash area, and then pin it to the ECU and calibrate the ECU, and hopefully we're done. And hopefully everything looks good. I'll set you guys up, and you guys can watch me struggle bust getting this through the firewall. There we go. You know, I'm thinking about it because I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna tighten that bolt here real quick. Remember, these things are always a pain in the butt to get routed. I'm gonna put a little tape around the end here. That'll help keep the wires together. All right, let's go see what we're dealing with on the inside here real quick. All right. Now, where are you? Yeah, there we go. All right. That's probably all the slack we got. So we gotta make do with what we got here now. Which looks like more than enough. Cool. The way to do it would be the Tyco pin. My pin, like I've got pins in here that won't come out, so we're not gonna do that. So we're just gonna bypass this and run it straight to the Elite. So we'll have to de-pin and probably just throw a crimp on. But I also do have some actual pins, so I might just pin it. I think we're gonna have to use one of the Tycos though. Let me look on my phone here real quick and see what the game plan is. All right, it's all wired, allegedly. I forgot to show you setup, but let's see if it actually shows oil pressure. Yay! Now I'll feel a lot better about actually getting on the car again and stuff, because I want to make sure that we have, you know, actual oil pressure. So, all right, let me do a little bit more, make sure we got everything tidied up there, clean up, and take it for a drive. Yeah, test drive went great. I've got good oil pressure, so that means that oil pressure sending unit was just bad. Now, there's a lot more I want to do on this car yet this year. Most of it's just little stuff. Obviously, I want to clean it up again. I want to put my side skirts back on. Maybe actually finally get the wiring put back up and, you know, the glove box back in, under the hood. I want to do an ABS delete at some point. That's not a this year thing. I want to do some different intercooler pipes. I got to do a different exhaust manifold. This one's cracked. So there's a lot of little stuff that's gonna be going on with this car. It'll probably be a little bit for the next video of it, unless something happens, I guess. But if you guys are looking forward to more Evo content, make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.